council members, charter officers, citizens in Venice, and members of the press. It's the 10th of April, 2007, and now we seem to be back to square one on a part of the airport called the Venice Lakes Golf Course. Well, not all the way back to the original square one, but only about 4 or 5 years ago, when the previous VGA lease to manage, and I repeat, manage, not own, the Venice Lakes Golf Course was ending, and negotiations for a new lease were underway. Negotiations that were so badly tainted that they left a permanent stain on Venice's record. Negotiations that ignored the citizens of Venice and catered to the VGA. Now, more than catered. More like the Florida anthem that they're talking about changing. Yes, boss, anything you want, we'll do. Starting with missing an important date on the course lease being open to bidders. Another bidder who owned a local golf course appeared, and so did a letter dated prior to the important date also appeared, almost out of thin air. The then city manager said that the lawyer for the VGA had hand-delivered that letter to him. Back a little further. And he just forgot about it and sort of left it on his desk. And that violated the lease, because the lease specifically stated that all official mail was to go to the city clerk. Suggestions were made to the city by people in and out of city government to run the golf course themselves. And the answer from the city manager was that in his previous position in the East Coast, the municipal golf course didn't make that much, and it was a cause of constant bickering by citizens who felt they should play for nothing. Well, several of us went out and checked. Some of us drove out there. The word bickering raised the eyebrows of the people out there. And the description they gave of that course all had 2 words in common. It was called cash cow. The previous lease had a clause that the next lease would start at a certain percentage of the assessed value of the course. Strangely, the city assessment came in lower than the VGA's assessment. But it came out to a yearly fee of over $200,000, quite a bit over. $60,000 or so was shaved off of that figure. Why? Maybe because the VGA was only paying themselves about 100% dividend on their stock, and they just wanted more. Back then, the VGA had to supply financial records each year. So several of us went over the records and roughly figured out that the city could make in the neighborhood of $500,000 a year profit and pay a nice hefty sum to the airport reserve fund. Oh yes, the other bidder was furious about losing his part of the cash cow, but he was rumored to have been reminded about vulnerability, so he left quietly. There were lots of other good old boy happenings then in good old Boyville, too numerous to mention, from city department heads leaving a bargaining meeting in disgust. This was a bargaining meeting on the golf course, to not using our lawyer to write the lease, as he did all leases, because in the words of the city manager,
you have 1 minute,
to save the city money. I guess the city manager forgot that the city lawyer writes all leases and the renter pays the cost. Well, I even wonder if the city, and then we paid lots of money when the FAA stepped in, lots of our tax money to go and try to save the VGA from paying too much. And I wonder if they've even paid that. Right now it's going from gold to platinum time for the VGA, but the city can let it be known that there will be no extension and zoning ordinance will be strictly enforced. Somewhere along the line there'll be time for the city to buy the remainder of the lease or wait until it expires and then take it. I appreciate all the righteous protestations that members of council have and will make to sort of protect the Lakes of Venice golfers. But those things have a way of changing. It's almost like I'm saying that many people don't trust the City Hall gang to do the right thing. But that's not true. We are sure they'll do the right thing for somebody. Take the course back. Stop the grandiose plans meant to line good old boy pockets for development around the airport, and some of the stain will start to fade away. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.